Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another Marine ECM, this time coming from New York. Let me just make sure I'm saying that correctly. Yep. Joseph, this is your computer. This computer was here in March, pretty much the end of March, so starting of April of this year for no communication, no start. I repaired the computers and then he's been using it since then, and now it's pretty much throwing the same problem, no communication, no start. So I tell him, send it over. Let me take a look and see exactly what the problem might be and see if it's something that is covered under the warranty or if it's a burn component or something, which I always very straightforward and crystal transparency to my customer that liquid damage or burn components are not covered under any warranty because these are electrical components. So it's a little odd that you have something working for so long and then all of a sudden it's not working. But we'll see what we find. There is very minimum notes from him, just the same as in the first visit, pretty much. Let me just take you over there to the folder. This is the computer still, well, yeah, it is connected, but nothing is powered on. And this is the folder with this visit note. Joseph from New York, it says ECU not turning on to power engine, just turnkey and no bips. Just had revealed in April 2026. And the part number on the computer is a 16236999, which is for MerCruiser, and the last digit 3230, which is very unique for that computer. I can go back to the first visit and we can see that in here where we have the same 3230 in that computer. All right, so let's dive into the test first. All right, let's I have the note in here. The computer, it also has a secret number, which is EAED, which is for MerCruiser. But let's try to see if we can talk or not to this computer. So let me put the diagram in the screen and let's try to do a connection. Let me go over to the software because showing something that is not connected to anything, right? So, all right, so let's do the connection. Let's power up. If the computer powers up, which you see, this in here is a fuel pump relay. When you cycle the ignition on these boats, you should see a fuel prime for like 1.5 seconds or so. All right, so power on and then ignition in 1, 2, 3. And we have no fuel pump. We have sensor ground and 5-volt reference. So partial of this computer is definitely on. I don't see a Maic, which is a bad sign. So it's power up, but not fully power on. All right, let's select the first selection. This is Diacom Rinda for boats. It's a very good diagnostic software, Windows based. All right, we select the first one and see if it detects or not the module. No reply on the bottom, so definitely we have no communication. All right, so yeah, we can see in there, no ECM is not responding, no communication. So we are immediately reproducing the customer concern. So let me open the computer and see what we see. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, I want to show you what I have done. Okay, so the problem in this computer is actually a corrupted calibration this time. It's nothing burn, no damage, but this could potentially have happened because either low voltages, a shorted alternator, or high output alternator. Let's say, if you have an overcharging or undercharging alternator, it can corrupt your calibration. Bad grounds, loose grounds, all those can potentially damage calibration on a module. So Joseph, if you're watching this video, which I hope you will, please check those up because otherwise this will happen again. And I'm not going to do any charge for you this time. I'm going to help you. But if this happens again, it's not because I did something wrong in your module. It's because you have a problem in the boat that needs to be corrected. So please take a look at those. And again, all I'm trying to give you is hints, recommendations, but I'm not there to fix your boat. I can only fix your computer. So I want to prove that, yes, you will have now a fully working computer, and I'm actually going to, or have updated your calibration to a newer version, and I'm going to show you that with the files that I have. So let me just show you this, guys, all of you that are watching this video. All right, let me move you over to, not this view, to this one. Let me remove the circle where I am in there so you can see all the stuff. So Joseph calibration, looking at from what you see before on the video, is the numbers are, or the letters are EAED. So we're going to do a search. I'm going to MEFI calibrations, and we're going to do Control F. This is a Excel document that I have for all these, what it shows. So we will type that EAED, and we're going to do a search, and we can immediately find it. Okay, so let me just close this 1 second, and I'm going to show you. Let me see if I can do it. Yeah, so you can see it in there. Let me make, no, that's actually good. So you can see here it says calibration ID, letter E, AED is for a 350 5.7, and it says Alpha Bravo SOS. This is a Bravo calibration, and it says production calibration. So this was the first calibration pretty much for this computer, the MEFI 3, from probably around that date, 1998. Then the calibration that I am installing, that I have here, is going to be this one, the E930. So this is a production release of E886 plus extra audio alarms turns off. So this is, again, an updated calibration, newer than the one was installed from the factory on this computer. All right, so now that we know exactly what we're dealing, and this is specifically for the boat, let's go back to now to the test. All right, so let me close that folder in my computer, and I'm going to put the diagram, the other view, and then the picoscope in the back, so we can see the computer running. Where is the cover? Just to show you that this is Joseph's computer, and we still have the sticker that says, that has the EAED, which no longer is the case. All right, so let's power up. Battery and ignition in 1, 2, 3. We have the fuel prime, which is great, right? All right, so let's do a connection. We want to select the first one as we did before, and we can see immediately connecting to the computer. We're going to select mode 1, standard diagnostics, and we are inside the module. All right, so the calibration again, so you can see it all from home, is E930, as I show you, is for the same exact boat, just an updated calibration. All right, so let's run it. All right, we have coils, we got ignition, we got everything now working properly in this computer. Let me go back to the view. I might have to check or change the filters. Let me 1 second, guys. Just trying to make sure that we're not changing any of the signals, but we can see how we have now coil firing, we have injectors, both bank, and it's a nice and clean waveform. There is nothing wrong now with this module. We have the Maic, if you see here, we have this light flickering, that's the Maic valve. We have eyeball reference, we got sensor ground, and the fuel pump is running. So everything is now fully operational. All right, so I'm going to put the RPMs. Well, first, let me show you that we have no fault codes. All right, so we got no fault codes. I'm going to show you also this computer has, or this calibration has 226.77 hours. One very important thing to watch when you're seeing your calibration is the engine runtime. Right now, we have run it for 1 minute and 26 or 30 seconds or so, right? So the hours should stay very close or tied up to this. Let me put another pit so you can see that too. Let me adjust that into your view because it's kind of like off. Yeah, so you can see that better. So what I was explaining is we can, what I have seen, calibrations that are corrupted, and the first clue is in here. If you have an engine runtime of 2 minutes, the hours should not change because we have 226 hours, 0.78 minutes, right? So it's 226 hours, but 78, because this is in tenths, minutes. So this should not change. And I have seen calibrations where minutes are transferred into hours. That's the first clue that you have a problem in the calibration, and that calibration needs to be removed and put a fresh calibration that does not have that issue, because otherwise it can fail. So this is very important. And we can see here that the hours are not changing weirdly. You see, we have 2 minutes. It went from 78 to 80 now. That's correct, right? So that tells me that the logic and the calibration that I installed in this computer is now fully working and everything is good. All right, so let me remove some of the pits in here. I'm going to change that one to the running time. Oh, sorry, it's the RPM. Let me put that one back in here. Yes, I'm going to close the first one. I have to do it this way because otherwise it doesn't change. And I'm going to put the well, let's put the injection pulse, because I want to show you that that is also correct. So if we go over to the picoscope, which is the oscilloscope, and I put cursors into the pulse width on the blue channel, let's see what the reading is around, very close to it. So the computer is commanding 2.5 seconds, and we have 2.7 on the oscilloscope. So it's pretty close. So that means it's good. Everything is fine. I'm going to measure the amplitude of the both channels of the injector. We got battery voltage, and as it pull it down to ground, yeah, it's 125 millivolts on the blue channel. Let's check the red channel, which is in injector B, and we have around the same battery voltage, and let's see how low is that being pulled. And it's around the same, 126 millivolts. So both injector drivers are working beautiful. So no issues with this calibration or with the hardware on the computer. So the hardware is intact, no damages on the hardware, which is great, which I correct that on the first repair was a hardware issue. This time is a software issue. And I am very transparent. I hope that you understand how much transparency in my business and my person show with all this, because I could have said, yeah, this is a burn, you need to pay and charge the customer. No. That's one thing that I learned from my dad and my mom, is to be honest and to try, because it's the way that I can go to bed and sleep and just dream and have good dreams, because I have a peace of mind. And that's what I like to do always. And I transfer this into my videos, and that's what I show, what I have done here, which is no repair. It's a software correction. All right. Let's run this on a higher RPM. Why is my circle black? Let me see what happened with the camera. Let me see what happened with that camera. Yeah, that was back in business. I don't know what happened with that camera. I'm glad. That's what I have the iPad in there to make sure that we're not losing any footage. All right, so let's increase the RPMs. I'm going to go over to my view here where I can see the rest of the pits closely, because I want to change the throttle position, which is actually in 0 right now. Let me increase that a little. I'm going to go over to 2000 RPMs. Why is that? It's not updating, and it's already updating. Something is odd with the software. 1 second. Let me close that one, and let me reselect it. Because you're going to see that I'm already now in like almost 2000 RPMs. And you see, this is what it does sometimes. Let me close that one and just put one pit. Like that is not going to interfere. See, that's it. That's the RPM. So let's keep that one in there. We already checked the injection milliseconds, and I'm losing my camera too again. 1 second, guys. I don't know, let's see, make sure everything is showing. All right, so let's keep increasing the RPMs. You can see the injection now getting tighter because we're changing, we're now on the higher RPMs. I'm going to go over to 4,000. I'm changing the throttle too as well. And we can see it's running really, really nice. Coil firing, injector firing, nice and clean. And that's what I went all the way up to that RPM to make sure that everything is intact. The engine hours are correct. You can see it. They're on. The engine runtime is the second top right, and then from the bottom, the fourth right lower is the engine hours, which is now in 226.88, which is perfect. We are around 8 minutes of runtime. So everything is changing perfectly and normally, which is exactly what we expect to have with a good calibration. But yeah, everything is working well. So let's go back to idle. I'm trying to keep it at least. I like to keep that throttle in like 0.4% because otherwise it's not in a good spot and I try to change back and forth. Right now we are in, if you see the base IAC and the desired IAC and the IAC position are pretty much matching because the throttle is to where the computer really thinks it is close. Otherwise it starts to move the IAC back and forth, but that's not the case. It's really slowly moving just to keep the idle steady, and that's what the IAC does. But yeah, everything is now fully operational, guys. And Joseph, thank you so much for visiting the channel. Joseph, as you know, you're back up by my Salazar Diagnostics, warranty. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.